Now at 5, Missouri state officials break down how much revenue from marijuana sales is going to support veterans. Plus, we'll hear from a 49ers fan living in the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. And the U.S. launches retaliatory airstrikes in Syria after 3 soldiers were killed last weekend.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
State officials say the Missouri Veterans Commission will likely receive around $19 million in revenue from marijuana sales this fiscal year. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach. The director of the Division of Cannabis Regulation broke down the numbers this week in front of a House committee. Since marijuana sales began in Missouri in 2019, the state has collected more than $150 million in revenue from taxes and program fees. Nearly $40 million has gone to the Veterans Commission in total. Now this year, the commission is expected to receive $19 million. And officials say that number could increase to $22 million next year if the governor's budget recommendations are approved. Well, despite living in the heart of Chiefs territory, there are those rooting for the 49ers. Hunter Perry is a local realtor, father, and 49ers fanatic. Perry grew up in an era where players like Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and Steve Young dominated the NFL. He says that passion has been passed on to his 3 sons, each of whom is glued to the TV when the 49ers hit the field. Hunter says he's ready for the 49ers to get back to the same glory they experienced when he was young.
I mean, it was pretty great back then. And, I mean, most guys, especially my age, like, everybody kind of liked the 49ers because you had Joe Montana and you had Steve Young and you had Jerry Rice and Ricky Waters and Tom Rathman and like all these crazy Hall of Fame guys. So it wasn't bad growing up. Now, Chiefs are a bunch of crap talkers because they got Patrick Mahomes.
Well, Hunter says when the Chiefs are not playing the 49ers, he cheers them on. But on Super Bowl Sunday, the Chiefs are enemy number 1. For one Joplin resident, coffee is a part of his daily grind. Martin O'Toole has been a frequent Joplin greenhouse patron for more than 15 years now. As a plant lover, he was a client even before the coffee shop existed. And now he comes in almost every morning for his 12-ounce batch brew with heavy cream. The baristas at the coffee shop say they love building a friendship with the beloved client and now friend.
He just really cares to get to know you as people, and he's just the kindest, and he wants to know how your day is. He wants to know what you're doing.
You know, talk with every one of them, and they, they keep up check on me. And when I not come for a couple of days, they're, where the heck have you been? So they notice.
Joplin Greenhouse started as a nursery more than 20 years ago. In the last 6 years, they've added the coffee shop side of it. To learn more about the story, you can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joining us now with a first look at your forecast.
All right, it turned out to be another fantastic day for us today. 73, the record is 74, set back in 03. So when the official number comes in, we'll see if we tie it, but made it run. Very warm. Average high is 47. We started at 49, so we started above our average high. Looking outside now, of course, a lot of traffic. Joplin outside of Pittsburgh still sitting at 70 degrees. And as we go through the evening hours, of course, we're going to slowly drop back. But look at this, upper 60s to near 70, kind of breezy, and this helps warm us up. We have these southerly winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. As we go through the evening, we slide back through the 60s, 50s. Rain starts to increase, especially as we head toward the morning. I'm going to break that down for you here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, the U.S. has begun retaliatory airstrikes on Iranian-backed targets in Iraq and Syria in response to a drone strike that killed 3 U.S. service members on Sunday. Willie James Inman reports from Washington, D.C.
CBS News has confirmed that the U.S. on Friday launched retaliatory strikes on Iranian-supported targets in Iraq and Syria. President Biden ordered the strikes involving U.S. B-1 bombers. The wave of airstrikes on about a half a dozen locations comes days after a drone attack killed 3 American troops at an outpost in Jordan. Earlier, the remains of 3 American service members returned to American soil, with President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden joining the families of the fallen soldiers for the solemn event. On Thursday, the president paid tribute to the fallen troops.
They risked it all, and we'll never forget the sacrifices and service to our country, that the dozens of service members who were wounded and are recovering now.
Sergeants William Rivers, Kennedy Sanders, and Breonna Moffett were killed in the drone strike that the U.S. blamed on an Iran-backed group. More than 40 other U.S. troops were wounded. The remains of the soldiers go from Dover Air Force Base to their final resting places. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
Well, the Pentagon just announced that Sergeant Rivers has also received a posthumous promotion to Staff Sergeant in recognition of his exceptional courage, dedication, and leadership. Still ahead, strong signs for the economy.
Hiring jumped in January, nearly double expectations. I'm Bradley Blackburn with the new jobs report and how some workers are still being laid off.
And next in Health Watch, how Freeman Health System is recognizing National Go Red Day for Women Day. Topping today's Health Watch, today is National Wear Red Day, raising awareness for cardiovascular disease, the #1 killer of women. Employees at Freeman Health System are among those raising awareness. Officials say it's the perfect time to take a second and think about your heart health.
It's in February, we all think about Valentine's Day, we think about heart, so it's a wonderful opportunity to really focus on protecting ourselves from heart disease and looking at all those risk factors and doing our very best to mitigate them.
Officials also say most cardiovascular diseases can be prevented through healthy lifestyle changes and education. It's not just the 4 states recognizing Wear Red Day. Tracy Townsend introduces us to a woman who developed a rare but serious form of heart failure after her baby was born.
39-year-old Marion Dancy is a mother of 4. In 2019, 6 months after she had her last child, she started experiencing swelling and extreme fatigue.
I just kept going. And one day I was at work and I got off the elevator and I lost my vision.
She saw a doctor who dismissed her symptoms because she had no family history of heart disease. Things got worse and she could barely walk.
I had to advocate for my health.
She found another doctor who finally diagnosed her with peripartum cardiomyopathy, a type of heart failure that happens at the end of pregnancy or after delivery. She spent weeks in the hospital.
I felt like I was going to die.
While peripartum cardiomyopathy is rare, according to the American Heart Association, it's more common and deadly among Black women.
We're not sure why. It may have to do with genetics, though.
Cardiologist Dr. Harmony Reynolds with NYU Langone Health says women need to be aware of other complications during pregnancy that can have an impact later.
Pregnancy is a form of a stress test for women. If we get high blood pressure in pregnancy or diabetes or have a problem called preeclampsia, that raises your cardiovascular risk in the moment, but it also turns out that it raises your risk down the line for heart disease and stroke.
Marion says she had to change her diet, go to cardiac therapy, and exercise. She also had therapy for her mental health.
I had a high-stress life. I had a career. I had 4 children. I know now that I matter. My health matters to myself, to my family. I can't do anything for them if I'm not at my best.
And she says she will pass on these healthy habits. Tracy Townsend, CBS News, Columbus, Ohio.
Dr. Reynolds says if you have a problem in pregnancy like high blood pressure, diabetes, or preeclampsia, it's critical to get ongoing care with your primary doctor or cardiologist. Where you live could be a factor in your chances of recovering from a stroke. Research by the American Heart Association found stroke survivors living in areas with high unemployment, low income, and education and poor housing were twice as likely to have a poor recovery than people from wealthier areas. Access to quality care and nutritious food are critical to recovery. Antibiotic-resistant bacteria can last in the body for years, and researchers at the University of Basel studied patients who were treated with antibiotics and developed bacteria that were resistant to drugs. The study found even 9 years later, the bacteria were still in their bodies, making treatment for future diseases more difficult. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, why Bissell is recalling hundreds of thousands of its vacuums.
Plus, the great temperatures continue, but a cool down and rain moving in for the weekend. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, it turned out to be another great day for us today. Temperatures back into low to mid 70s across the region, which is fantastic. Plus, we've had partly sunny skies, a lot of mid and upper level clouds across the region. And that is what we are going to see as we go through the evening hours. And then these clouds really thicken up later on tonight. This is a great shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo's just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, let's zoom in. Temperatures right now, 66 in Monette, 77 at Grand Lake. We have Pittsburgh 71, Carthage 69, 70 in Neodesha, Cassville sitting at 67 degrees. Outside here's 7th, here's Rangeline sitting at 70, east-southeasterly winds at about 10 to 15. Sustained, but we've been getting gusts a little bit higher than that at times throughout the afternoon. You can see these southerly winds, but these help our temperatures warm up. And then at times, we've had gusts kind of 15, upwards of 20, 25 miles per hour at times. These are going to back down a little bit tonight, but then increase again as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. Southeasterly winds gusting 30, maybe 35, and then as we go into Sunday, they switch out of the northeast, but still pretty breezy with winds gusting 20 to about 25. All right, outside we do have some mid and upper level clouds, but again, these will thicken up. We're tracking this storm system out to our south and to our west. In fact, you can see the thunderstorms blowing up just south of Dodge City. We can track these all the way down through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. But all this is going to head toward us later on tonight. We have snow, which is building up through the Rocky Mountains. So pretty strong upper level low. And look at our rain chances. So they go up. So scattered showers through the morning. So here's 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then just straight old, it's going to rain tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, all the way through Sunday. Here's midday on Sunday. It stinks it's on the weekend, but we do need the rain. All right, let me walk you through the weekend. We're going to stop 4:30 tomorrow morning. Scattered showers, Kansas, Oklahoma. Everybody else dry. As we continue through the morning hours, most of this is going to be on the Kansas and Oklahoma side through the morning, but advancing north and east. So here's 10:30 in the morning, temps into the 50s. Once we get to the afternoon, scattered showers across the region, a little bit of a lull as we get into tomorrow evening, and then it will start to filter back in tomorrow night. Here's 4 a.m. showers all the way through Sunday morning, pretty widespread and persistent. Temperatures at this point into the upper 40s, and then showers finally starting to break up just a bit by the time we get into late Sunday night, and then heading into Monday. How much rain could we get? I think rainfall amounts, most of us are going to be 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. Some areas a little bit higher, maybe pushing an inch in some spots. And if we break down the weekend, it's still going to be 60 during the daytime hours tomorrow. 48, so cooler on Sunday. More persistent rain Saturday night, and then showers on Sunday. 55 on Monday, partly sunny skies, back to sunny skies on Tuesday. Another chance for rain Wednesday, Thursday, but still, even though it cools down for the weekend, temperatures overall pretty good.
Yeah, those are great temperatures.
Yeah.
Why, I don't know why Sunday has to be so cold, but
Well, it is what it is.
I guess we have to be average for this time of year one day during your forecast.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. KOAM Skywatch weather app. Well, coming up, what economists are saying after the January jobs report doubled expectations. Topping today's Consumer Watch, a new report on jobs is stunning Wall Street. Hiring in January came in much higher than anticipated. This despite the fact that many companies have announced cutbacks. Bradley Blackburn explains.
The job market continues to defy expectations. Retailers brought on 45,000 workers in January. The healthcare industry hired 70,000 employees, and jobs in professional business services increased by 74,000. In all, the U.S. economy added 353,000 jobs last month, almost double what economists expected. Plus, December's numbers were revised higher from 216,000 to 333,000 jobs.
And wages were up by 4.5% from a year ago. That means workers are continuing to earn more than the inflation rate.
The big job numbers come as many major corporations are announcing layoffs. American Airlines is letting go of hundreds of customer service employees, and UPS says it's cutting 12,000 jobs. There are also a number of tech companies scaling back, from Google to TikTok. A report shows there were more than 82,000 layoffs in January, a 136% surge from December.
Let's say that I'm a tech person and I was laid off.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says workers who lost jobs in tech should consider shifting industries.
I think that you've got to look at where there is job growth, look at the skill set you have, and apply those skills to the areas of the economy that continue to grow.
One snag in the latest jobs report, the average hourly worker saw their shifts cut to just 34 hours a week. Experts say struggling companies often scale back hours before they cut jobs. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The new report shows the unemployment rate remained near historic lows at 3.7%. Bissell has recalled about 142,000 of its multi-reach hand and floor vacuum cleaner models due to a fire hazard. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the vacuum's battery pack can overheat and smoke. So far, Bissell has received 17 reports of the vacuum smoking. 6 of those included the battery pack catching on fire. Well, Target has pulled a Black History Month product from its shelves for mislabeling famous black figures. Civil rights magnet Learning Activity incorrectly identified W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, and Carter G. Woodson. In a statement to USA Today, Target said it was no longer selling the product and made sure the publisher was aware of the errors. Well, it's time to start planning the menu for your Super Bowl party, and with the right planning, you may be able to make this year's party somewhat cost-effective. Economists say there are bargains right now on chicken wings and shrimp. A pound of fresh chicken wings costs 5% less than the same time a year ago. Shrimp prices on average are down 6.4% from last January. Meanwhile, steak and beef prices are higher. Well, final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, Steve Hartman goes on the road to Mississippi, where he found the best tool in the toolbox is our heart. And then on KOAM News at 6, we'll hear from a gambling addiction counselor about setting limits for the Super Bowl. Plus, we'll have more on how a 49ers superfan is handling living in Chiefs country right now. And Missouri Southern softball kicks off his season with a doubleheader in Arkansas. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Well, bones found in a cave pit have revealed Neanderthals and humans likely lived alongside one another 45,000 years ago. Researchers analyzed microscopic fragments of protein and DNA from the fossils found in eastern Germany. They discovered modern humans made leaf-shaped stone tools that archaeologists once believed were crafted by Neanderthals. Up until now, scientists thought these modern humans didn't live as far north as the region where the tools were made.
It's amazing what they can find out with carbon dating and all that.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
It's pretty cool. We keep learning about our past.
All right, weather-wise, the evening looks fine. Still 60 tomorrow, but light scattered showers increasing as we go through the day. Cooler on Sunday, more persistent rain for us tomorrow night into Sunday. Sunshine returns on Monday. Does stink it's raining on the weekend, but we need the rain.
Yes, we do. Well, thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6, and we'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.